And so it doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything that Candace Owens believes in. Obviously we don't, but that interview was fire. Everything she said in that interview was correct.
Like, if you think there's no MAGA split in the country, you're a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So at this point, Cenk Uygur is like a battered spouse. He is. He is like a battered spouse. He's like a man who has been married to a really abusive woman that is just beating the shit out of him. And all he's doing is anytime they're nice to him, he's like thinking like, oh, okay, it's gonna be different this time.
I think one of the best things that you can do to kind of understand this current political moment, because a lot of things don't make sense if you're kind of operating based on.
Look at their headline, dude. Cenk and Ana respond to leftists claiming there's no MAGA split. Their whole headline is like defending their like claims of like winning over MAGA to the left. Like, what kind of leftist news network is like people that instead of just engaging in celebrating the progressive victories, they're literally arguing that like we're fighting against progressives to prove that we're doing something good. Dude, their whole network is like, you know, their whole network is just like, what are they even doing, bro? Their whole network is, please believe we're legitimate. Please believe we're not grifters. Please, like, somebody please be nice to us. Please come hang out with us and do progressive things. Please be populist with us at the playground. Oh my God, dude. Oh shit.
The old partisan lens. I wish that things were as cut and clear as they might have been in the early aughts, but they're not. They're not. And it's hard to make sense of how things are changing and realigning. You know, we'll talk about this tomorrow, so I have time to produce it, but Candace Owens was on Piers Morgan today for a one-on-one interview. That interview blew my mind, okay? Because everything she said was accurate. Everything she said was true.
Oh shit, dude. Dude, it's Israel is bringing Candace Owens and Ana Kasparian together at last. Israel is going to unite. Think about it. It was Iraq that caused Cenk Uygur to leave the Republican Party, and it's going to be Israel that brings him back to the Republican Party. Oh lordy. Oh lordy.
And everything she said is reminiscent of what you would hear from a left-wing show arguing against essentially aiding and abetting Israel in its genocide in Gaza, for instance.
Yeah, so I'll say it. They had a whole giant Piers Morgan episode about this massive split in MAGA. But I went on Kyle and Krystal just a couple of days ago, and they think there's no split at all.
No, there's definitely a split, right?
Like, I mean, but
here's what we think, Cenk, and let me clear this up for you, buddy. There is a split, but there's not a split that is going to unite with you, okay? There's not a split that's coming over to the left-wingers, okay? There is a split amongst the MAGA and amongst the Republican people that voted for Trump, but regardless of the split, they're either gonna do one of two things. They're going to either continue supporting Trump anyway and be extra resentful and take that all out on the target groups, the people of color, the women, the gays, the trans people, etc., the immigrants. That's one. Or two, they will just not vote at all and they'll be pissed and they'll stay home. So the best we can do with these MAGA shitheads is we can exacerbate the split and we can make them fucking hate what they have done and who they are so much that they just stay home. And then we unite and kick their ass. But this idea that you think they're gonna come over and hang out with the Democrats and they're gonna come make some populist shit with you just because you're willing to throw trans people under the bus, it ain't gonna fucking happen, bro. Okay? We need to work on uniting the left. But like, goddamn, like while Cenk Uygur's arguing about the left are claiming there's no MAGA split, he ain't calling Sam Seder. He ain't calling Emma Vigeland. Like these motherfuckers Cenk and Ana should be healing their rifts with Sam Seder and with Emma and with Kyle and with Franny and with, Pastor Ben and with Benny and with everybody else in their world that's on the left. They should be healing those rifts, coming together instead of they're arguing, no, really, MAGA's splitting and they're going to be nice to us. Fucking dumbasses. I mean, they're splitting, though, to the point of where they are starting to realize, a lot of MAGA is starting to realize that they're not going to get what they want. They voted for Trump. They rode the wave. They rode the vibes. They bought into the thing, and they realized that he surrounded himself with loyalists who aren't talented, and they're not going to get their shit. They're not going to get the Doge cuts. They're not going to come close to deporting as many people. They're going to lose a bunch of court cases. They're not going to get the budget bill they want. They're not going to pass any legislation. Gavin Newsom's going to embarrass Trump. Israel's going to embarrass Trump. Iran's going to embarrass Trump. Everything that they thought they were going to get. Pride Month is going to go on. There's a trans woman in Congress. The fight is going to keep on fighting. The neighborhoods are fighting off ICE. And we are going to keep doing the shit we do, undeterred by their little aggressions. And we don't give a fuck. And they're not getting what they thought they were getting. Okay, Trump is going to be a failure because that's what he is. He can't govern. He can't be a good president. He doesn't have what it takes. So now they're starting to realize, oh, fuck, we're not going to get it, right? That's what they're realizing. And yeah, New York City is about to elect an immigrant Muslim socialist. Fuck you, MAGA. You fucking shitheads. And he's going to do a good job. He's going to do a good job. And it's going to make you guys look like assholes. And that is the reality of what they're dealing with. Like, they're coming to terms with, like, holy shit, this is going to be a giant fucking failure. And so I think we exacerbate that. We keep fighting. Double the court cases. Keep suing. Keep standing up. Transgender kids keep going out for sports. Just keep fighting this shit. Okay, everybody. And then when the elections come around, let's come together. And when the primaries are over, whether we love them or hate them, let's support our candidates, right? Even Alyssa Slotkin, I want her out of the party. But if she were running next year and she won the primary, I'm backing her. Okay, if in 2028, even if it's Gavin Newsom, I hope it's not, but even if it is, I'm backing him. Okay, we are going to defeat those Republican bigoted shithead MAGA motherfuckers. We're going to kick them in the fucking teeth and fucking push their faces down in the muck. And then we're going to go on with our lives. And we will not have broken a sweat. Okay? And we're going to be like, get the fuck out if you don't like America as a melting pot. Fuck you. You're not going to win this. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And they're realizing that they're not going to win. They're getting desperate, right? Benny Johnson was making a video. Remember his video? Where he's like, who needs money? Right? Right? When the markets are crashing, he's making a video saying, who needs money anyway? No, you don't really need money. You just need a Bible up your ass, right? Dude, they're losers. That's my fucking spiel. And I'm telling you guys, it's true. It's true that, like, they're starting to realize it. And they're starting to, like, they're attacking Zoran with tweets from 5 years ago. 5 fucking years ago, they're like, oh, he was defund the police in 2020. And so they're like, look at what he tweeted in 2020. It's like, dude, they are desperate, right? Trump is dropping the F-bomb on TV because he's desperate. And so that, I agree that is going on. But this idea that they're coming to our side, no, we don't want them on our fucking side. F them. You voted for that shit. F you. Okay? I don't want you on our side. I want to mobilize all the people that are not them. Okay? And then maybe down the road after they fucking have done a little penance, okay, then they can fucking come up and ask to be accepted. But they got to prove that shit. In my eyes.
That's what they said. So I don't know if they're on this planet. And when I asked them if they're on this planet, They seem to get mad, and they're, by the way, to be fair to them, they're representing their audience, and their audience doesn't see it at all. That's because they're not getting accurate information. Like, if you think there's no MAGA split in the country, you're a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
So hold on. I wouldn't say they're not getting accurate information. I trust that Krystal and Kyle are giving accurate information.
No, I just mean in general.
Hold on, but what I think is an issue, and I was guilty of this. This was an issue that I had in the way that I was covering stories some years ago. It's that you end up in a bubble and you don't even realize it.
Oh, right? That's definitely right.
And when you're in that bubble, there's certain information that's not getting to you. You have to literally actively seek it out because of these algorithms serving up what the algorithm thinks you want to know. Or
dude, she's so dumb. Like, does she actually think that Kyle and Krystal Ball, that they don't like sit on Elon Musk's deep right wing part of Twitter? In the For You. I mean, dude, I see them reply to right wingers all fucking day long. They're so dumb. They act like they act as though Krystal Ball on her show with the fucking right winger, like she's not immersed in that shit. Every left wing content creator literally is watching fucking. I watch right wing content all day long, mostly. 90% of the shit, like my For You page is nothing but carcasses of MAGA shitheads, bro. You know, like they act like we're in some algorithmic world where we don't spend all day watching right-wing content. It's so bizarre, dude. You're in a bubble. That's right-wing speak. All the left-wingers, oh, you're in a bubble.
Thinks you want to see.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything that Candace Owens believes in. Obviously we don't, but that interview was fire. Everything she said in that interview was correct. And if you can't give her credit for saying things that we on the left believe, you really have to ask yourself, how are you operating? Are you operating based on, supporting a specific tribe?
Well, here's the deal though, Ana. You could look at Candace Owens and Candace Owens somehow says something that aligns with me on women's rights, which is probably not gonna happen, but say it did, okay? I could acknowledge that she is echoing a belief that I share, but looking at her track record and looking at the harm she's caused and looking at the damage she has caused through her grifting and her contentiousness and her desire to just create fires everywhere, no matter who it was harmed, I am not going to align with her and start working with her after that. I can acknowledge that, yeah, she said something that is in line with the things I believe, but that doesn't mean she's coming around. It doesn't mean we're working together, and it doesn't mean she gets absolution from all the harm she's caused. Because she was like Nazi number one, man. Nazi sympathizer, Nazi accelerator. And just because she says something that I relate to now, I'm not forgetting that all that other shit was happening. And the irony, though, of these guys talking about this shit is because Candace Owens can be a Nazi bitch for her entire career, but say one thing they agree with on Israel, and they're so like, oh my God, let's give Candace a hand. But like she agreed with Emma and was friends with Emma, agreed with Sam for fucking decades, and they won't even talk to them anymore, right? So you're telling me the people that were your friends, that were your co-workers, that you came up with, that you agree on 75% of the fucking shit, you won't hang out with them and talk them, and you hold grudges and call them grifters and ignore them and avoid them, talk shit about them, try to go at them publicly on Twitter and rain hell on them. You do that with those people, but then the fucking Nazis say one goddamn thing about Israel and you're ready to go. Like, what are you talking about? You know? That is some bullshit.
No matter what?
Yes, that's definitely what they're doing.
And if you do that, well, then you're not driven by policy. You're not driven by actually accomplishing the policies that we think will make the country better.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? First off, Candace Owens doesn't make any policy. She's not a politician. She has no capacity to get any policy passed. So agreeing with Candace Owens and saying, oh, we're buddies, that's not going to get you any policy. Okay, but I will say this. The thing is we're not above policy. Here's policy, and here's kicking Nazis in the teeth. Okay, so if you have a choice between working with somebody for policy or kicking Nazis in the teeth, you kick the Nazis in the teeth first. Which means if a Nazi comes up with a good policy idea, it's like, well, I'd love to work with you making policy, but I got to kick your teeth out first. Because I kick the teeth of Nazis first, and then we worry about policy. And that's just how the spectrum works, okay? So unfortunately, any Nazi that comes up with a great policy idea, they have to get kicked in the teeth first. That's just a requirement, okay? And then after we've kicked all the Nazis in the teeth, then we can talk about them having some policy ideas. But there's a lot of Nazis, you know. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.